Hello and welcome back to Exeter City, where the journey for Exeter has gone relatively okay since we last met. The journey for me, however, a little bit more stressful. I'll get you caught up. And by relatively okay, I mean we beat Manchester City 3-0 away from home. But as for me, if you've been following me on Twitter, you'll know that I had a little bit of an issue with Football Manager over the weekend. I'm very thankful that last week I recorded all of those episodes well in advance because, I had a technical gremlin. What I tried to do was replace all the new gens with faces, and it didn't go well, to the point where it crashed and then wouldn't open beyond the loading screens at any point. It took me a long while to work out how to fix it, and it basically involved deleting everything and reinstalling it. The good news is, graphics-wise, everything's back in and everything still works as it was before, just don't have new gen faces. I think what the issue was, and I've just got on one of them at random here, hi Castillo, I think what the issue was is it trying to just replace every new gen, which might have been a little bit too much for it to try and work out how to map properly in one go. So what I might do going forward is I might try it by the next episode with just my own squad, see if that's possible. But it's either that or it accidentally included someone who actually has a face in the regular face pack and it's trying to map two things to the same head. One of those two things, I don't know which, but he still has 20 determination. That normally drops just because of mentoring. I don't get me wrong, we've got decent mentors, but even so, that normally drops because of them. Shout out to his 83% tackle win rate with 7 tackling. Yeah, I feel like I've long since proven that the tackling attribute is completely irrelevant to tackling quality. It's a shame Castillo himself hasn't been better, but we did follow up beating Huddersfield and West Ham last time out by losing to both Leicester and Arsenal. Arsenal unsurprising, considering they are top of the table. Less surprising was the fact that we had 21 shots and 12 on target. This was a game in which goalkeepers were fabulous. Robert Sanchez saved 15 of the 16 shots on target they had, and Aaron Ramsdale saved all 12 of the shots on target that we had. How this wasn't like an 8-goal thriller, I have no idea. We were just rubbish against Leicester, by the way. Nothing odd about that one. They deserved to win. Most of their XG is a penalty, but even so, we didn't deserve to win that one, and we nearly did in the end, because 80th minute that penalty happened. Still giving away penalties, it's stupid as hell. I honestly think giving away penalties is FM's way of balancing out how good you are normally, because I don't think I've ever seen a team give away as many penalties as we do. But wins against Leeds, Bournemouth and Manchester City, along with a draw away at Burnley, mean we are currently sat in 9th yet to play our game in the game week of 22 games for most people, which means a win here takes us 7th. And we've got to beat Aston Villa, who are currently sat in 16th and 11 points behind. You know how I said I'd bring you back at a point in the season where it kind of maybe gave you an indication of where we were going to end up at the end of this? Yeah, seems like we might have a chance. Of course, this could go horribly wrong over the course of January, and we'll end up mid-table anyway. But, because you look at that gap, Leicester 34 points, 7th, Fulham 12th, 30 points. 4 points separates all that lot. And January is going to be a problem, because we're missing 4 players for the African Cup of Nations, although technically 2 are problematic, because Mrepo's going permanently tomorrow for about 10 million. Ridiculous transfer that. But he's going tomorrow in-game, and Ola Aina is not a massive loss at this point in time. If we have an injury to one of the fullbacks during January, we're going to have an issue. But Ola Aina's job is sort of done by Johnny anyway. So those 2 I'm okay with, because one of them's going anyway. Hesham and Mansley's the problem. 2 of my central midfielders are both gone. I'm glad I've got 7, I'll put it that way. And I'm also glad that Sangare, for some reason, isn't in the Ivory Coast setup internationally at the moment. I have no idea why he's being overlooked at the age of 29, and he's that good. I think he's under-star rated a little bit. He's been listed as 3 stars. He's very good. And I have no idea why the Ivory Coast aren't playing him. I mean, that might be why they're playing 2 midfielders. How is Sekou Fofana 3.5 stars compared to Sangare's 2.5? Sorry. 3 stars as just a full-on player, but he's 2.5 in a half-back role. I mean, what one lacks, the other has, so I don't really know why there's a discrepancy between the 2. A 34-year-old Akpa Akpro is getting in ahead of him. Admittedly, he can play everywhere, but still. Anyway, Ivory Coast's loss is our gain, though, thankfully, so the team for today will be Sanchez in goal. I've just made him a goalkeeper defender because the goal that we did concede against Arsenal was entirely his fault. Their striker chipped him from outside the box, because Sanchez decided to come out for them one-on-one when he was about 20 yards away. So I've just said, stay in the goal, Sanchez. Martin and Johnny are going to be the fullbacks today, and they are going to be fullbacks now. I've made the decision that they go on the most defensive version of fullbacks possible, and that is fullback. So still Martin on fullback attack, still that's going to be a concession, and both of the defenders are going on central defend rather than ball playing now. Just simplifying that back line as much as possible to stop them doing stupid things, which I saw happen in Leicester and Arsenal. Like attack-wise against Arsenal were fantastic, but defensively, you still saw they had 21 shots, which isn't surprising because they are top, but still, Sangare, Markovic, Fofana, Toussaint, all three of the players I would play in defensive midfield are playing on the pitch right now. Carlos Eduardo and Saunders up front, because they're the two that are scoring. Although Uribe does have more goals than either of them, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is my opinion here. This is the same 11 that played Manchester City minus the African Cup of Nations players, so off we go. In fact, Mansley didn't even start that one anyway. They've got a free kick early on here, and, well, free kicks are stupid because no one ever defends them. That's my biggest hope for FM23, fixing free kicks. These kind of free kicks in particular, because it doesn't matter, because you can't defend them properly, because you can't actually tell players where to go properly. You just give them an area at best and hope that they do the job. But when there's an attacking player there and your defender doesn't have any option of defending that, the ball's always going to go to them. And on the flip side, attacking free kicks, whenever you put players there, they just start offside. So you can never score from one of those free kicks either. Johnny, there's a good run being made there, which has been ignored by John Stones. It's found its way to Saunders anyway, by way of the head defender, and Fofana tucks it away. It's what I wanted to happen, just not the way I intended it to happen. I saw it coming. Stones should have released. There was a good run. There was a good run done there before this highlight restarted, but it made its way to Saunders regardless, and then it made its way to Fofana regardless, and it's gone in the goal. Their free kick goal remains their only shot, full stop, in this entire half for Aston Villa. Got another one, just as I said that, as always. Liam Bailey charging down that left. Liam Bailey's still there. Estupinian. Sambi Lakonga. It's been moved across. Andre Almeida. We've intercepted those. Sangare. John Stones. Be sensible, John. John. Thank you. To Johnny. Toussaint. And we're moving it to Carlos Eduardo, who probably should have used his head there. I feel like I should praise my team because we are winning. Yes. We are going to be FM'd here, though, it feels like. Although we do have a free kick of our own. See what I mean, though? Toussaint looks a little bit offside here, if I'm honest. I think it's stayed on, though, just about. Aaron Martin gets the ball back in again, and Carlos Eduardo's nowhere near for whatever reason. Markovic can find Fofana. This highlights continues. Sangare on the edge. Not going to go have a crack from there, and this will be the end of the highlight, I imagine. Done. And now they've got a corner, so here's 2-1 to Aston Villa. Oh, no, we've got the ball out at least. Sambi Lakonga. Set pieces for them is... what's happening? Set pieces for them is pretty much Sports Interactive's way of stabilising your overpoweredness in general. I've found this year, Watkins, stupid, man. This highlight's continued, and I don't really know why, and I'm concerned by it. That and crosses. Sangare, Toussaint gets the ball, and now it's who's clear again. Highlight's got to end at some point, surely. The fact this highlight hasn't ended, despite the fact the ball's been cleared twice, has me really concerned, because they've still got possession. Johnny's going to get sent off for what was written down there as being a pull of a shirt. Really? Well, we'll take Toussaint off just because he's booked. But I do love being utterly FM'd. We've got a corner. Aaron Martin puts the ball in. Carlos Eduardo's there, and he's... After saying last time we hadn't scored with either of the 6'8"ers, Carlos Eduardo immediately scored from a corner in that Leicester game that we then lost anyway. Markovic isn't playing well. Angelo can come on. And we'll place the tired legs of Aaron as well. Got a free kick. It's Castillo to put it in. Avalos is at the back post, and Avalos has scored his first goal of the season. And as soon as I say the 6'8"ers haven't done anything from a set piece, well, corner specifically, he's done it from a free kick. This is him at the back post here. Their defender's actually gone to head the ball, which is a novelty in of itself. But thankfully, he was tracking Fofana, not Avalos, who is about half a foot taller. Oh, don't you dare. Like, we've got 10 men here. I know we've got 10 men, but we just went up via a set piece. I mean, that should have made a difference. We've still got 4 men at the back, and John Stones has tried to jump. Bless him. That ball's fine. Like, we're still there, and then John Stones is inexplicably trying to jump for a ball he was never going to get to. Fascinating that they only came back into the game after we scored the goal. Not saying these games are scripted, but unsure about selling him as he was a useful depth option. We're sold him for just shy of £10 million. Considering the maximum value in our squad was 6, and even there, the top end is 10. I didn't realise his birthday was New Year's Day as well, so he just turned 29. Still in his prime, but he's not going to get any better than this. He was a useful player. I thank Enoch for his services, but he had 18 months left on his contract, so I would have been actively trying to sell him in the summer. And Eddie Howe's just become Bournemouth manager again. Just came through on the ticker tape just as I was looking at that. Can't keep him away. Thought it was about time to actually have a little nosy on the options I can ask the board. Youth level was there again, so category 1's going to come at the end of the year again. Meanwhile, our facilities are just fine. Thank you is the reason for declining training facilities. I don't like how passive-aggressive that is. Just fine. Thank you. We agree that the training facilities need to be improved, therefore we will look... Sorry, we're glad we've had such a productive meeting. Has my board got a split personality? What's just happened? Only going to cost 3 million as well. Training facility upgrades are always a lot cheaper than I think they're going to be. I normally hold off because I think they're going to cost like 15 million, but no, 3.6. I think like the proper top end ones enter the 10 plus millions, and this guy's getting a lot of interest, but I'm not selling him for just flat fees of 200 grand at this point. Give me a future fee just in case he's any good. FA Cup third round, we got drawn against Brighton, so I'm going to bring you it because Brighton, well, they've been stuck in the Championship for a while and we haven't seen them since we left it. They, of course, do have Juventus's Arthur in their team, although he's finally upset about being in the Championship and wants to leave. Debating on how much to rotate this team, and I've ended up going with not at all. Carlos Eduardo's taken a little knock, which makes him definitely not available, and obviously Johnny got suspended for this match. I didn't realise league matches carried over to FA Cup, but in a way that's kind of helpful because it means he only misses this one and doesn't miss either of the Arsenal or Chelsea games that are coming up in the next couple of league fixtures. So same team, basically, apart from Uribe in for Carlos Eduardo. Martin Saunders becomes the pressing forward. I think I'd still rather have him on the pitch than Tiggers. Maybe we do put Tiggers in to start this one, actually, just because Saunders is one of the few people actually on medium workloads at this point, which is why I'm happy to stay first, which is why I'm actually happy to stay mostly full first team, just because not a lot of these workloads are particularly heavy at this point in time. So off we go. And minor reminder, I signed Toussaint for 10 million. There's add-ons, but the part of that is international caps, which he's never going to get. So I basically signed Toussaint for the same amount of money I just sold Wepu for. Yep, one of them's definitely better, isn't he? Same age as well, I think. Just about. I've got an awful feeling that I've just left the strikers off the bench because there's less subs. Oh no, Martin Saunders is on it. It's fine. With Brighton being one of the better Championship teams, they also didn't replace the goalkeeper, I now realise. A little bit sorry for our cup goalkeeper, but yeah, can't risk it against a team that is relatively competent. They've still got Lewis Dunk in their central defence. He's about 35. He was one of the best players in the Championship last year, on average rating alone, so clearly doing enough for them in that level. Shame no one else is. But they've got Mavididi and Parrott up front. Arthur, of course, in their midfield. Still got Caicedo in their midfield too. Their team is good. I don't know how they've not been promoted again yet. It's so weird. Anyway, Tiggers. Back to Johnston, who's got to be about 40 now. Arthur. Buys Troy Parrott. That felt like it was about to be a foul, but thankfully, Sanchez on goalkeeper to defend was far enough back that that attempted chip didn't work. Forced him to overhit it just that enough that it missed. I tried to do a sentence there, the words didn't work. But Brown on this right-hand side has enough space to whip that in, and, well, we've missed the header, but thankfully... Yeah, as soon as I said the word thankfully, I knew that was about to go wrong. Shout out to my defenders being on central defend. Not ball-playing defenders deciding to ball-play this. How stupid. There's an immediate highlight here from the kickoff. Stones, who looks enormous for some reason. Fofana, who doesn't, immediately equalises. Sorry, how tall is Fofana? Because he does look tiny in our team of giants. Only Castillo looks smaller than him. At least I think that's Castillo. Great goal, though. Well, I won't find out just yet because I can't click it on because we've gone immediately into another highlight. Castillo, back to Sanchez. Avalos, this is now the second half, by the way. I accidentally clicked through the first page of the halftime thing, which is why you didn't see it. Uribe's on a 7.1. Haven't really seen him do anything, but he's on a 7.1. Toussaint, Castillo, finds Fofana. There's Uribe now. Diggers back to someone. Uribe's got on the end of this and smacked it straight at Johnston. Goalkeeper or post, he just likes hitting something with the ball whenever he takes a shot. Aaron, Martin, we'll aim at that near post. I don't think we've got... Well, we've got Avalos, but we haven't got the other one. Toussaint finds Castillo. Good ball play. Good ball gathering from Toussaint there, even though he's in box-to-box at the moment. Sanchez finds Avalos and Markovic. Aaron Martin on the overlap, of course, always there. Diggers, he's in all the space. He shouldn't miss. He doesn't miss. Had me worried for a second he was going to take one too many touches, but he gets there in the end. That's the difference between a second-tier striker and a top-tier striker, I think. Just that level of confidence to smack it first time. He really should have. He should have just got it there and then smacked it immediately. But he took 2 or 3 steps, actually. He doesn't touch the ball in that time. Just the heavy touch to begin with. Pulls it away from that a little bit too much, and he has to almost catch up to it to smack it in. It's got to be said, Sanchez ended the last game on a 6.4, and he's on a 6.5 now, thanks to that mistake. Arthur, still weird that he's in the championship. Sangre, well, his Dunker gets it over. Dunk, not particularly short, I don't think. I wish I could just click on people's names. But no, another highlight, Castillo to Sangre. I mean, if we score from it, I don't mind this interruption. Castillo runs round their players, and Aaron Martin's in the middle. Right, now to finally catch up with things. Fofana is 5'9", which isn't that short, but in a team that has a lot of 6'8" players. John Stone's only 6'2" as well, so not massively tall, just for some reason looks a lot bigger than he actually is in the game. The last one to check is Lewis Dunk, who I thought was about 6'5", but no, 6'3". I think I'm obviously conflating him a little bit with Dan Burn, who was also a Brighton player before Newcastle nicked him. Brighton and 4 character surnames. Fofana, easily confused. That's spilled and not gone particularly well for them. Markovic on a 6. Markovic just tipped over to a 7.2. I think we've got an opportunity here to bring Angelo on for a few. And I think we've got an opportunity to bring Thierry Small on for a few. Let's get a couple of players who've played a fair bit still. A little bit of a rest. And then there's the opportunity to bring on Sean Longstaff or one of the other midfielders later on. He doesn't need the 15 minutes, which we should get with injury time. This is going to be more a case of who's the most tired. I think I'll take Toussaint off just because obviously I can use him as the halfback if Sangre's that little bit too tired. I mean, we should have actually dominated this one a lot more than we have. But 2-1 actually not far off being the accurate result here. John Stone's inexplicably on the end of that. You know, we nearly tipped it over into a 3-1 being the accurate result, but 2-1 underestimates ours, slightly overestimates theirs. About the right result, though, in the end. Very rarely does that happen in Football Manager. And I think I'm justified in going mostly first strength there. First team, full strength. Combine the two. Any surprises today in the FA Cup? Cardiff versus Wrexham. That might have been a fun game. Not for Wrexham, obviously, they've lost 4-1. Yeah, no surprises, unfortunately, in the FA Cup. Forgot all my views have changed. There's something missing off this page and I can't work out what it is. It's attendance, isn't it? I was going to say Leeds and Leicester, but I've just noticed there's a huge gap between those two games. So Burnley and Leeds seems sensible to bring you back for at the end of February. I'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll have no more technical gremlins between now and then as well, because frankly I don't have time for it. Until then though, thank you for watching. Ta-ra.